pictures that we have next, by Nguyen, is the progeny of Vietnamese refugee life experience. She is amazing in her own right. She's a UC Santa Barbara grad. She is, I'm calling her the connector in chief. She works for the San Diego Foundation, Civic Center for Civic Engagement, connecting schools, academia, governments, nonprofits, all those types of things, and she's really good at it. So I'd like to welcome now Bai Nguyen.
Woohoo! Okay, so this first slide, I just want to set the stage. I am really awkward, and I'm actually a very normal person. Look at me. I'm like 4 or 5 years old. I have a boy's haircut. I actually wet the saddle because I was so nervous on the pony. I'm not even touching the pony. I have this hover arm going on. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, if I can do some of these things, you guys can do these things, and then so much more. So I'm going to have 3 things I want everyone to take home with them. First of all, change starts with you. Also, you are part of the solution. Going to class already. And finally, the more the merrier. So first example, I helped lead a group of college students out to Katrina in New Orleans for the hurricane relief. And what we did was we gutted houses, we cleared debris, we worked with the residents there. And this is just a couple of the pictures. So here we are gutting. You can see some of the mold. This is half the group I helped lead. We had 2 groups because there's so many excited people. One group was in the Lower Ninth Ward, and this other group is in a district called, or parish called Bohemia or something like that. But one thing when I came back home was I realized, why did it take a natural disaster for me to want change? Why did I wait for this disaster? Why can't I start change now in my own neighborhood? So my message to you is, don't wait for the disaster. You can do something now. Second example. So my neighborhood has a tendency of watering dust. I got together with some neighborhoods, and together we were able to have this really beautiful landscaping. And tip for all of you guys, we did not speak to City Council. City Council doesn't care as long as the other neighborhoods won't complain about it. So you're probably saying, big whoop vibe, way to go. But this presentation isn't about me. It's really about you and what change you want to see, what inspires you, and then going and finding the people out there who are also excited about that change. So let's start off. Start thinking, what change do you want to see right now? Maybe you're passionate about traffic. That's my dog. Maybe you're passionate about pets. Beer culture is very big here, but it also can be done for good. So here's some beer about, better environment. And then think, how can you be a part of the solution? Can you help? Can you volunteer? Can you dig a ditch if you're building a garden? Can you volunteer your time if you're passionate about kids and youth? Or a link. There is a link. So what can you do to be a part of the solution? And then finally, it's really about the more the merrier. Who else is excited about doing this same thing? And there are so many opportunities for us to get out there. This is one of them, to do something really, really great. So find people, find them through groups, find them through social networking, because really, and this is my main point, even though we're just one person in this whole community, I really feel we can have a difference. Because, 20 seconds. Well, I'll just look pretty for you guys right now. Okay, so let's say you want to be the change. You realize change starts with me, I can be part of the solution, I'm going to go do my thing. Well, you know what? That doesn't just stay inside of you. Especially if you start connecting with people, what happens is, let's see the next slide, it spreads. You see one person dancing, you're like, oh, that's funny, they're dancing. I'll go dance too. I can do it also. So it spreads. So your idea of change spreads, and then once other people are interested, 20 seconds, more people will get involved. So you see, before we had no change, everyone was very static, we're all like at the DMV and don't want to talk to each other. But suddenly you have an idea, you want to make change. So you start talking to people, those people start talking to people, and now let's imagine this is one community. What happens when you get a whole bunch of communities in San Diego excited about change? That's where you start making very big change. And that potential is within all of us. And it's just acknowledging that you are really a part of the solution. So again, change starts with you. You are part of the solution. And the more the merrier. So my takeaway for you is, what change do you really want to see today? What are you passionate about? You know what? I want you to go outside once we're done and start talking about it at the open mic. I want you to sit next to someone else and say, hey, you know what? I have this idea. What do you think about this idea? Help me build upon this idea to make it happen. Because at the Center for Civic Engagement, that's where I work, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to connect people like you and give you the resources to make the change in your